Okay, so now I'm curious. As far as American politics go, are we seeing a situation where both the Republican Party, the conservatives, and the Democratic Party, which the liberal side, both political parties are rejecting the concept of the transracial movement? I think this is very interesting. I've been American my whole life, right? And what I have seen happen to our country, polarization on political parties and political views. So Republicans, for the most part, here's what happens. People who are like openly Republican, the ones that I know, are very much against Democrats. They think Democrats are idiots, and there's just all this spite. And I see the same thing with Democrats. They think Republicans are idiots, all this spite against Republicans. Then there's people like me who are apolitical and don't care about either side. And what I get to do, I get to really kind of like map out the polarization. I'm like, okay, so if you believe this about this, then you're definitely Republican, or you're definitely, but it's so easy to know which category things go into, like gay marriage by default went into the Democratic side, when it comes to a lack of gun control, by default, that's going to go on the side of Republicans. They don't want the gun control. It's so easy to predict what side. But now we've got the transracial movement, and it's like neither side wants them. Let me read these comments from a very intelligent man, I feel, Arthur Hull. He always has such great insight, and I really appreciate it. Here's what he says. He said two different things. He says, transracial, and by the way, this is a response to a video I made called, Is the Transracial Movement Racist? Basically asking, where did social justice warriors stand on it? He says, quote, transracial is not a movement. It's a co-opting the culture of another. It's clearly racist. He goes on to say, first of all, social justice warriors is a term coined by right-wingers. Progressives are, by definition, social justice warriors because we fight for human rights. Transracial and transgender are not the same thing. Transgender people are what they identify and that's how they're made, while transracial hurt people of color by claim. If you're not the ethnicity you claim to be, you're appropriating someone else's culture. This is a typical racist excuse made by right-wingers and libertarians, end quote. And I identify as a libertarian by default because I'm apolitical. Because I so much distance myself from both Republicans and Democrats. The point of this video, my theory, in the same way that I equally distance myself from any agenda of Republicans or Democrats, my theory on what I'm promoting to you on this is this concept that a similar situation happens with the transracial movement, that both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party equally distance themselves from the transracial movement. We've just heard from Arthur Hull, who apparently is on the side of the Democratic side, and he's saying, hey, it's racist. I'm not cool with transracial. I don't want it. Get it out of my party. So what happens? What, the Republicans, the conservatives are going to say, what kind of silliness is this? Someone who's born white and he's claiming to be, he's Asian, he identifies as Asian? Well, that's ridiculous. We don't want it. Throw it back to the Democrats. So they're just tossing this hot potato of the transracial movement or identity, whatever you want to call it. There's this hot potato of transracial people, and they're just throwing it back. Nobody wants it. So it's interesting because this is rare, I feel. I feel in America, any kind of issue is so easily predictable that you can throw it on one side or the other, Republican or Democrat, conservative or Republican, or conservative or liberal. You can easily do that here in America. It's so polarized. But when it comes to transracial, no political party seems to want them. I thought that would have fallen on the side of the liberal side, of Democrat, but no, they're saying it's racist, which is what I'm saying, is that people who defend people in social media and things like that, if you feel like you're being discriminated against because of your race or because of your orientation, there's going to be people who are going to be broadcasting this out. But no one seems to care about people who are identifying as transracial. Now, again, could I be any more neutral? I hope so. I want to be as neutral as I can. I'm not defending transracial and I'm not promoting it either way. My point is this simple. It appears that politically no one wants transracial people. They don't want to identify with it. They don't want to protect them. They don't want to endorse it. Transracial people are the hot potatoes of politics. Republicans don't want them. Democrats don't want them. Conservatives don't want them. Liberals don't want them. Please correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know anything. I'm just a guy with a camera and a YouTube channel. But that's my point. The point of this video is politically, the parties on both sides, they don't want to identify or accept or protect or endorse transracial people. It's an anomaly. It's a weird situation in which finally we found some discussion topic that neither side wants. In a world that's so polarized in American politics, no one wants to touch it. Correct me if I'm wrong.